G'day viewers, pop quiz. Who knows what Milkshake Duck is? That's a reference to a tweet from a somewhat absurdist Twitter account called Pixelated Boat that goes, "Everyone loves Milkshake Duck, the duck that loves drinking milkshakes." 5 seconds later, we regret to inform you the duck is a racist. The point basically being, we generally, people on the internet, seem to rush to really promote someone or some story that this is the latest hero of the internet, this is our latest cause, this is who we're inspired by, and these people are only people, and people tend to be pretty fucked, and you probably shouldn't be quite so quick to elevate people or causes that you essentially know nothing about, because you might get an ugly surprise. And the latest Milkshake Duck appears to be that kid from the video telling the impassioned story about how he was bullied. And of course, we all jumped on board. Bullying is fucking terrible. It's objectively bad. And having this really impassioned kid telling the story, Tasha goes, yes, bullying's awful. We should stand up against this sort of thing. And look, all of us saying bullying is bad, that's good. That's completely good. But the fixation on this kid, a lot of quite big names jumped on and wanted to do something special for this kid. Right up to big sports stars, Chris Evans saying he'd take the kid and his mum to the premiere of the next Avengers movie. This was all very touching, but this was all done with knowing virtually nothing about this kid or his situation. And the first thing we learned about his situation is his mum's a white supremacist. Second thing we learned is that people are setting up GoFundMes because for some reason this one out of the millions of kids who are bullied needs extra money, and they appear to be outright scams. Not even necessarily by the mum. It's just these things popped up, get $60,000 pledged, and then suddenly, oh wait, we don't even know if this has any actual connection to the kid or his mum. See, we all go off a bit fast. I'm so touched by this, I'm going to pour my heart out. I'm going to offer great things. I'm going to give money. I'm going to give wonderful... Wait, you don't know anything about this situation. You got the impression, it triggered something in you, and you went, I need to react like this. Possibly the way we should react is to take a breath and see, is it possible to learn more about this? Because then you might find out they're a milkshake duck. I mean, who remembers Coney 2012, okay? The really heartfelt video, a young kid trying to understand the story his dad tells him about child soldiers. Now, see, child soldiers, bad. The exploitation of children, and for that matter, adults in conflict zones, objectively awful. We can agree that. But the people behind Coney 2012 proved to be completely untrustworthy, and we should not have given them money. In that case, I believe they raised more than $1 million before the wheels started to fall off their whole operation. See, we have this tendency to want to do something in the face of perceived injustice. Maybe the first thing we should do is stop and think. Like, yes, we could use this bullying there. Look, for that matter, like some people have speculated, we know so little about this. We don't know if it was completely fabricated. We don't know if this kid's idea of bullying is just getting pulled up because maybe he's inherited a bit much of his mum's white supremacist views, and what he calls bullying was actually pulling him up for being a horrid little racist. And I don't know. And it's virtually impossible to know for sure because we are so far removed from these ordinary people. How the fuck do we know who to trust when reporting on them? And we shouldn't probe them. They are ordinary people. We particularly shouldn't be looking at, can we get some dirt on the kid? He's a fucking kid. Leave him alone. And, okay, yes, his mother had, before she made private her Facebook profile, a series of blatantly racist posts and calling other people whiners. And that sort of hypocrisy I'm not good with either. But just instead of doing this instant flip from, oh, they're our pet cause, to they're evil, let's crush and destroy them. How about look to ourselves and go, maybe this instant impulse is something we need to fight. Like I've always said, when looking at like politically motivated posts on the internet, be really careful when you see something that fits exactly into your ideology, because that should be a warning. Like often for us, and I'm as guilty of this as anyone, you see something and you go, yes, that's exactly how I feel about this. I'm going to share with the world. I reckon I get caught out on things that turn out to be bullshit or at best questionable, I don't know, like half a dozen to a dozen times a year. And every time I get caught out, when the truth gets revealed, I'm like, I promised myself I wouldn't do that, and I did it again. But I read a very interesting article once, and it was in light of a lot of the propaganda that really spiked the last US presidential election. We all saw the outrageous posts, and they weren't all pro-Trump, by the way, but they were outrageous posts designed to provoke reactions and to provoke division. And this is a university analysis on this whole topic of emotive stories and how they connect with people. And the interesting point I took away from this is going further than what I said. I always think, be careful when you see something that conforms exactly to what you think. Their argument was, if when you see a headline or read an article or see a picture, your first reaction is intensely strong, whether that's positive or negative, that is a massive warning sign. That almost definitely means you're being manipulated and your guard should go up. We're only human. When something really sets us off, either makes us really happy or really angry or really sad, we want to react. We want to share our reaction with people. But that is a key thing. And that is something that I think we should all take away from this. Like, okay, while the impulse to have a go at the white supremacist mum is pretty strong, she's just not a ordinary person. Let it go. Look to where, honestly, the real fall is all of us to doing over-the-top reactions, either positive or negative. Positive saying, this person is a paragon of all good. I should give them money. I should give them special opportunities. Or, this person's Satan. They are everything that's wrong with the world. We should crush them, destroy them, make them lose their job, and ruin their families' lives as well. Maybe when these things happen, we should take a bit of a look in the mirror, because while those people certainly aren't innocent, they're not the only ones who are guilty.